Hi and welcome back. My name is Emelie. I'm so happy that you decided to stop by the channel today. And I have a really springy, happy Valentine's Day card, but you can use it any occasion you like. I decided to look into my stash and see what type of solid cardstock did I have, and I just picked out an arrangement here of colors that I thought would look nice together. So I cut them down to smaller strips, and I cut both the colored cardstock, and you will see I also cut down a couple of white strips as well. So I will continue doing this, cutting down. I believe I had like 3 or 4 strips of every color, and when I was happy with this, I will start to assemble our pattern paper or stripe paper here. So I laid everything down. You can see the white pieces there are the same thickness as the other papers, but I cut them to be slightly thinner. And then I will adhere this down to some regular copy paper, and I like doing this trick when I am making my own sort of pattern papers with strips, because then it's easier to cut through it later. And I know at this point that I will be cutting this down, so I am careful here, making sure that I use the paper that would be easy for me to cut into later. So this took me a while because I wanted to have a larger piece to work with, and I think this is a really fun thing to do. And here is the die. This is a slimline die called Over the Rainbow, and I cut it out of some glitter cardstock, and then I just sort of looked and saw how much paper or cardstock I needed for my project here, and then I cut it with my scissors down to be slightly smaller. And this is quite tedious, but I love dimension on my projects, so I decided to put some foam squares behind all of my clouds and the rainbow itself. So I will cut the tiniest, tediously smallest pieces for the frame as well. So this took me quite some time to do, but the result I think is worth it. So I carefully aligned this and then put it down on top of my paper here. And I will share a trick with you how you can make your life a little bit easier. So I just took something that has a frame. I used the Tim Holtz like stamp press, or what it's called, I don't know what it's called, but I used that, and I don't have my lid in it or anything, I just had the base there. But you can use a scoreboard or something else that has like a frame, so you can place your cardstock inside it. Here is a side folded note card or card base that I created for our slimline card here, and I cut it to be slightly larger than our piece here. And then I also wanted it to have this teal beautiful color that complemented the rainbow or stripe pattern that we had underneath, and then I adhered it down to our card base. So our first card base is finished, but I created a second project with nearly the same technique but some different products as well. And I created another pattern paper here. It's the same technique. I will speed this up for you so you don't have to see this once more. But I used quite significant smaller pieces but the same colors. And then I will use the Cupid's heart die. This is so beautiful. And I will cut it out of a panel. You can choose whatever heart you like. I chose, I believe, the one that has the most intricate pieces here. And after running it through with white paper, I also decided that I wanted to layer this with some vellum. So this is really, really pretty and elegant. And then I will pop this on top so you can see how this will look when our card is finished. And when I laid everything down, I realized that I really liked when the stripe paper peeked out on the side of our card panel here. So when I went ahead and cut this down, I decided that I wanted to leave the border around my heart, my card panel. So you can see here on screen how I'm thinking of how I will do this to make it look like I want it to. And it was really easy when I sort of figured out how much space I wanted on all of the sides of the heart. And then I can just take my trimmer and cut the right amount off. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just thinking how this will look. And then I also, as I said previously, I just love dimension. I decided to pop everything up or raise everything up with some foam adhesive here. So I used a combination of foam adhesive that I have in my stash. You can use whatever you have. You can also, if you don't like to use foam adhesive, double up your cardstock and create dimension that way. So whatever works for you. You can also do it straight down to your card base if you, or this paper if you like, if you don't like dimension. So we are finally on the step where we're gonna cut everything down, and I created, this is not an A2 size card, I believe it's maybe 6 by 4 3/4 maybe, so it's quite lot larger than a standard A2 size card, and I like it because then I could fit all of the elements that I wanted to my card here. For the sentiment, I picked one from the All You Need Is Love stamp set, and these are solid stamps that really makes your life easier. I love stamps like this because it stamps out the black area. So if you're a person that likes creating the look of white heat embossed sentiments on top of black cardstock, I am one of those persons that really like that look. This is sort of a simpler way of creating that. You just have to stamp it and no embossing is needed. And to make this look like a solid core cardstock, I just took a black marker that I have in my stash and went around and colored in the edges here so no white is peeking through on the sides. So I hope that makes sense, and that you, when you do this, I think your projects look a little bit more finished. So to make your vellum piece adhere to the card base, I wanted to minimize the risk of getting adhesive that would sort of smear the vellum, because you know vellum doesn't really like adhesive that is liquid, and everything is showing up behind it. So I decided to hide the adhesive and adhere it with the sentiment there. And here is another sentiment that I heat embossed on top of some black cardstock. And to finish our projects off, I wanted to have something cute on the cards, and also this is what I think brings the cards to life. This is from the Love Forever, I believe you can pronounce it that way, stamp set. It's really cute. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I love this, and all of the images are so cute. And I wanted this little birdie here with a love note flying across our card and sort of bringing us the message. I think that turned out really nicely. And after adhering my bird and everything down, I went ahead and did the same thing to our first card that we created. So that finished off our 2 projects for today. I hope you got inspired to create something similar. It would really help us out a lot if you could consider subscribing to the channel and maybe leave us a comment and liking this video. All the products that I used in this video will be listed down below. And until next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye!